We're still learning how to smooth out the beginning of this with the tech side. We're trying it backwards from last week this week, so bear with us. But I think we're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Grace on Sunday, January 10th. And I was just saying to Jamie, this is my first great niece's birthday. And I've only gotten to see her once when she was less than a month old. So happy birthday, Noelle. And welcome to all of you to Sunday Morning Grace. On this second Sunday of January in the year 2021. Left the 2020 behind. And let's just hope the meme that I saw saying, don't forget, 21 is the drinking age. So we could be in for some trouble, but we have lots of hope and lots of trust that we are getting to the end of this and that there is light at the end of the tunnel and we are moving forward like a steam train. Yeah. So with that being said, welcome to my partner in crime here, Reverend Jamie. And we are going to be talking, well, I'll let Jamie tell you what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, well, today we are going to be focusing on something that I am actually excited to be talking about because it's at the heart of what I do, and it's all about resiliency and staying resilient, because as we all know, just because 2020 is over does not necessarily mean that everything has magically dissipated and it's easier, or easy goings right now, as we have seen just this past week. It's still a little tricky and intense and lots to really experience and witness. So, and finding the key to staying resilient in your own being through all of that.
So before we get started in our discussion, we will start as we always do with an opening blessing. So I invite you just to sit wherever you are. If you're able, close your eyes. Hand over your heart if that feels right. Whatever it is to make you feel grounded, to bring you into a space of being present in this moment in time. And whether you're joining us live in this moment that I'm speaking, or whether you're listening to my voice through the magic of technology, know that this is the exact right moment for you to be receiving this message. And go through this exercise. And I want you just to let yourself be without judgment. Put your worries, your cares, your troubles, your to-do list, put them all aside. And feel the warmth that envelops you as you tap into the feeling that you are a divine being, a divine, perfectly imperfect being, worthy of love, worthy of care, worthy of trust, worthy of blessings, and worthy of all the goodness that exists in the world. Know that you are always divinely supported. And we trust that you always feel the compassionate and care of others around you. But even when you don't feel the physical presence of another, know that the divine, the angelic realm, the divine realm, the higher powers, the higher energies, they're always with you. And if you tap in and sit in quiet and listen, have a conversation. Allow them to guide you. Allow them to push you when you need to be pushed. And allow them to put up the stop sign when you need to slow down. or stop and reassess and refocus. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you do, know you are divinely loved, you are divinely supported, and you are worthy of every beautiful moment that comes to you. Another deep breath in. Settle into this feeling and let it out. Blessed be.
Beautiful.
All right. Resilience.
We are.
And, as I was saying to you, Jamie, when we were chatting, getting set up, I really feel that what also goes along with resilience is persistence. And in preparation for today, and pardon me for looking away, but I just pulled up the definition of what resilience is, just to start us off. And what I found was resilience is defined by psychologists as the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or a significant source of stress, such as family and relationship problems, serious health problems, and workplace and financial stressors. And excuse me, when I think of resilience, I also think of persistence and the ability to not only keep moving forward, and I know you're going to talk about some keys to moving forward, but not only that, but to persist, to keep at it when it's appropriate and knowing when it's appropriate. And I think that's what came through in that opening prayer today, is that knowing when to start, knowing when to stop, knowing when to yield, and listening to those divine energies that come to us that help us get there, and help us know that push, pull, and just to know that we're worthy and that we can then be resilient. We can say, this is part of my lesson. This defeat or this setback was part of my lesson, but it's not it's not like the big glaring stop sign that says stop. So, and I think that that's a key to being resilient, is to be able to stop, take a deep breath and say, what is my message here? And if not now, when?
Mm-hmm. I think so many people always think that everything, well, yes, it very much be present in this moment, but like there's still this imbalance of, if an idea comes or something comes up, that like we have to respond right now. We have to do something right now. And that's just not always the case. And when I find myself in moments like that, and times like even like these, if I'm being, one, just checking in with myself, where am I? Am I okay? What do I need? And also, if I do feel driven to respond or react, making sure, y'all know, I practice the pause, making sure I'm taking that deliberate action and I'm not emotionally responding. And as Marianne said, I kind of have these through some training I take in my coaching practice, and I just want to give credit to Karen Curry Parker. That's my one mentor in this, and she actually created these resiliency keys that just resonate so deeply with me. And like I say, I just wanted to make sure I gave her credit for that, because this is not my creation, but they stick and they just feel so right. And so I always, check in, like, Am I in alignment with myself? Am I speaking from a place of authenticity? When it's time for me to speak, if it's time, am I able to speak from a place of courage? Being able to make sure I'm in the right place to make the right decisions. Am I able to make a decision right now? Empowerment, of course, am I standing in my power? Am I speaking out of fear or out of feeling some sort of weakness? And then, of course, the emotional wisdom is just all about that, like waiting for the wisdom to come from riding the emotion. And which is big, that's a big part of why I'm always like, as I just literally just said not even a minute ago, I take deliberate action. I don't emotionally respond. And it's, it can be very hard in times like these. Lovability is another place. Am I feeling loved? Am I loving myself? Am I allowing myself to receive love? Self-trust. Sometimes if we don't even trust ourselves, we might hold back, or we might take wrong action because we don't even trust ourselves. So we're just kind of, making choices that might not be in alignment with us, which also ties into the self-worth. Like, are we truly feeling in our value? Are we, knowing our worth in situations, what's worth it, what's not? And then, of course, vitality. Where are you on a physical plane? Even emotional vitality, energetic vitality, physical vitality. Am I in a place that I can even take action right now? Lately, with what happened the other day, I have just been exhausted from it. And, it brings up a lot of conversations in my household. For those that don't know, I'm in an interracial relationship. We can't, nor would we, regardless, but like there's no turning a blind eye when things like this happen. And it's tough conversations, and it's frustration, and it's just downright exhausting at times. And, so I have been in a place that I know to check in. Okay, first of all, my vitality, I'm not feeling very strong right now. The best action for me to take is to rest. And in my rest, it allows me to, realign with my authenticity, to have the courage to speak up when I need to speak up, to make the decision, is it even worth it? Is it worth saying anything? Like, let me just see, am I going to stir a pot? The empowerment, though, if I do choose to speak, making sure I'm speaking from a place of power and, in my power. Again, the emotional wisdom, is this just something that's triggered me because personally things like these tend to have an angle that literally hit home? The lovability, do I love myself enough to know when to speak? Do I love myself enough that I can stand if I speak and know that I am worthy of love, and I can still receive love if I catch backlash? And then again, of course, trusting myself and knowing my worth and my value. So, but for me in all of this right now, everything is going back to vitality, and it allows me to get clarity on the other things. But usually I find that, just when anything comes up, I can kind of get hit in one of these areas. So this is just like my main go-to list that I don't even just go to with me. If anybody works with me, like I break out my keys and it's like, okay, where where might there be, a place that we may be lacking in one of these areas, or a little unbalanced? And I find that the more in alignment I am with all of these, that the more, I'm feeling very resilient. I'm feeling very strong. I'm feeling very confident. I'm loving myself. I'm in my power. I know my worth. I know my value, and I'm able to make choices that are in alignment with my highest good.
And I do think it's really important that we take and that we take that pause
Mm-hmm.
and check in with ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
we run through that checklist, and we will post that checklist in the comments to this video, just so you have it to reference back easily. But you go through kind of a checklist in your head, and you say, okay, I'm in I've reached a roadblock, or I've reached a point where things aren't flowing smoothly. I'm finding I'm really being challenged, and you have to stop, and you do have to check in, and yet whether it's world events or whether it's personal life events, and I think about what goes on with my daughter and her health.
Mm-hmm.
I could just get all crazy. And, sometimes I think back and I say, how did I not? Um, and I think about the day that, here we are in an urgent care and they're telling me that she's got something wrong with her heart and it's, 32 years old. And, what's your go-to? And initially my go-to was to reach out to this community or to the Living with the Angels community, my spiritual family, and to get those prayers going. And that was kind of like the foundation and the building block. And that put me on steady ground. And so once I had that all going, then I could deal with things as they came and start letting the information come in and keep pressing on, and without falling apart or without giving in or without becoming hopeless. And it was, and I think as a parent, we do things differently when it's our child that's involved, maybe than we would if it was a friend that was involved. But I think really it makes sense when you're faced with stressors, and we all are faced with stressors all the time, things that are coming in that are making us feel unsteady or unsure of what the next steps are. Before we begin to press on, take a deep breath, check in with your angels, check in with your inner guidance, check in with your intuition, make a plan. But first of all and foremost is check in with yourself. Does this feel right? Is this something I need to do right now? Is my timing right? Is this the right thing, wrong time? And when you get that thumbs up guidance, be persistent. Believe in it, trust in it, know. And form those steps. And they might only be baby steps. But just know you're supported, you're loved, and reach out for support and help when you need it. We don't all have to go things alone. And I think that is one of the keys, is that we don't have to go it alone, ever, ever, ever.
And I feel like some of us almost feel like it's like a badge of martyrdom, like, "Ah, I did it on my own. I did it on my own." And for some of us, maybe some parts we are just by nature, we kind of have that alone, that aloneness, or we want to do alone, but like we can't, as you said, like that. And that's why we have each other. And I think just that really, even that, I'm sorry, just they're talking to me. I was hearing, even in that self-worth piece, like knowing that you're worthy to receive, and you're worthy to ask for help. Like you deserve that. We all deserve that. We're all worthy of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think so many of us may feel a burden or a bother, and that's one thing I love about our community. I know I can reach out at any time with anything, and trust me, I have grown a lot since I first came here. The things I would reach out for probably seem crazy, but like I could do that and I was never judged. It was just like, what do you need? Let me love you. How can I support you? I'm here for you. And it, like, oh my gosh, and it's such a blessing and such a great reminder. I'm just giggling to myself because I'm actually working through this now, and right at the moment it is work. That's why I'm using the word, working on allowing myself to receive more deeply. So I love that you brought that up, that the receiving part, and knowing that we can ask. Like it's really okay to ask, and there are people like us that I love to be of service to people. Like me and Marianne live for this. Like this is part of our life work and mission. And it truly is one of those things that fills us up. And we also know that when we are in times of need or rest, or we need to replenish, that we can reach out to one another or other members in the community, and they're able to, pick up, and it's just a beautiful thing that there's always enough support to go around.
And I think the other piece that we have not touched on, but I think is important, is prayer.
Mm.
It's going into that inner prayer place And
Mhm.
whether it's to reach out and ask for prayer, or whether it's to sit in quiet and meditate and prayer and be prayerful for
Mhm.
ourselves, and just allow those messages to come and just ask for that divine support to shower us and just allow the answers to come to guide our steps. And some it's not like you're going to get this, booming voice that comes and says, Marianne, this is what you do next. But you will take that. At least I haven't gotten those booming voices.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd probably freak out. Oh my God.
but thank you, God. He never makes it quite that clear to me.
You're so evolved. You already know.
And I don't get that heavenly chorus of beautiful voices, accompanied by the chords of the why can't it harp?
The
Uh,
harps, yes, the angels and their harps.
I don't get that either. It's usually more like it's quiet, and then I just know. I just
Mhm.
instinctively know, or I do, and I don't even do by knowing. I just do.
Yeah.
So trust that you're going to get that push, um, gently, or an earthquake will come and knock you out of your chair and move you forward, but you will get that push.
Yes, one way or
Um,
another, you're gonna know. And I think that's the beauty of it. And even in that, the more that you allow yourself, in these mean times to like sit and get familiar with the voice, you'll find that the less cosmic two by fours you get hit with because you're able to hear. And when something, I mean, and I'm a firm believer, at least personally, that when something's meant to be, it will be. And if we don't move or remove things, then the universe loves us so much and is so determined to see through what's meant for us that it will make a way when we will not. And yeah, so I'm enjoying, listening to my inner guidance and taking a more gentler route these days.
yes, yeah, yeah. Getting beat up a lot less. Uh,
Yeah,
so I'm feeling rather complete.
I am too. I am.
Well, and let's face it, this conversation is never
Oh,
going to be complete, but I think we have provided some food for thought.
mhm.
Uh, and we will invite people, if you need some help, some guidance getting you through being resilient in a moment, or in a lot of moments. We have lots of support out there to help you. Just sing out,
Yes.
as always. And Jamie, any last thoughts on resilience before we move on?
No, just check the comments below afterwards because we will have Marianne so graciously has made us little slides there that you guys can kind of go back and reference because I think altogether we have 16 key points. I could say we could talk on this forever, but we're being very good this week. So,
Yes.
but again, reach out if you need any help. Leave a comment, message us on the Facebook group. One of our ministers will be happy to be in touch with you. And again, that's what we're here for. And
Yeah.
we're
And
the
we are in challenging times with this pandemic and all of the restrictions and the fear and the concern and the stress that goes with it. For those of us in the U.S. and even beyond the U.S., these are very sensitive, heightened, and scary times in our country's history, and we will get through this. But pray for peace, and
Mhm.
don't pray even beyond praying for peace. Pray peace.
I love that.
Just see this country on its way to divine healing, because that's what this country needs. It needs peace, um, and just calmer heads to prevail. So pray for that. Um, and onward and upward to our tenants.
Yay.
And I'll pull that up here so that you can follow along if you choose. And whenever you are ready, Jamie, if you want to get us started.
Absolutely. And as you're guided, just taking a nice deep breath in and again placing your hand over your heart if it feels right for you. With that breath, creating space to really allow yourself to receive these tenets. I open my heart with deep gratitude and intend today to master my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical energies. I am dedicated to my spiritual practice. I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I own my guidance.
I live in partnership with my angels. I serve with a loving heart. I am compassionate in every moment.
I trust it's all good. I allow immediate forgiveness. I honor my truth.
I listen to the spiritual messages within my physical body. I express myself creatively. I am one with Mother Earth. And so it is.
So it is. As we get ready to embark on this week, I leave you with our beautiful prayer that me and Marianne have come and created and made our own. So, O divine creator, keeper of my higher power, I humbly ask that you help me to hear through your attentive ears, see with your clear vision, touch and feel with your gentleness, speak with your non judgmental tone, and embrace and welcome all with your loving and accepting heart. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you, loves. We will see
Thank
you next month. Reverend Carolyn and Reverend Dawn will be with you next week.
you.
And we look forward to welcoming you back in February.
Yeah,
Have a great week and let us know if we can serve you in any way, shape,
yeah,
or form. We love
yeah.
you.
I love you. Be well.